Hello, everyone. Welcome to this webinar. My name is Crystal Derksen. I'm here to help you today. And I know that you are here today because you want to slay self-doubt. You've been doubting yourself for a very long time and you are done. You're done with it, right? That's why you're here, and I'm here to help you. Today, you're going to understand why you doubt yourself. You're going to understand where it came from. I'm going to teach you exactly how to slay self-doubt. I want you to step away from this webinar knowing exactly what you are doing to doubt yourself or to hesitate or to procrastinate. I want you to understand yourself, okay? So the first question I have for you is, everyone has a dream and everybody has a purpose, okay? I know you have a dream. There is something that you want to accomplish. How clear are you about this goal, about this dream? 0 being, I have no idea what I want to do. 10 being, I am clear. I know exactly what I want to accomplish. I know exactly what my goal is. Write that down. If you don't have a pen and paper, go ahead and grab one. Question 2, on a scale of 0 to 10, how much do you believe that that goal, that dream is possible today? 10 being, I am fully persuaded. I know that it will happen. 0, I don't believe at all. Where are you? Question number 3, when it's time to take steps forward to accomplishing this goal, how much do you second guess yourself or hesitate? How often do you hesitate? Do you do it often? Sometimes, once in a while? Often, often. So everybody typing in is typing in often. Yes, often, often. And that's why you're here, right? That's why you're here. And I'm going to help you. Next, I want you to get very clear on noticing this self-doubt. I will give you some indicators right now, and I want you to write down every indicator that resonates with you. You constantly second guess yourself. You always ask for another's opinion. So if you have a decision to make, are you making the decision or are you asking somebody else? Consistently and constantly. Do you defer decision-making to other people? Oh, whatever, I'm good. Doesn't matter to me. Notice if you do those things. And then the hesitation. Do you hesitate with every step that you are taking? If you are hesitating, you are ultimately going to be developing a habit of procrastination. Therefore, if you're procrastinating today, you've been hesitating, right? So I want you to notice, are you doing these things? Are you in a habit of procrastination? Let's say you need to be taking steps forward in your business, or you want to go to school to get more skills, to begin a new career. But every time you know there's an action to take, you start scrolling on social media. You start watching YouTube, Hallmark chick flicks. Notice these things about yourself, okay? More indicators. Do you shrink yourself? Some people shrink themselves so that everybody else can feel comfortable. In extreme cases, maybe you berate yourself, where you're really like hard on yourself. You're critical with yourself. That will ultimately lead you into depressive tendencies and anxiety. Over time, when you keep on repressing and suppressing all those emotions instead of expressing them, you're created to be an expression. not to repress, push things down, sweep things under the carpet. No, you are created to be an expression. I want you to be an expression. If you continue down this path of self-doubt, it will lead you to an enormous amount of self-pity and victim mentality. If you've been doing this for a while, there's a part of you that has a victim mentality, and it's fairly strong because it's like, everything is hard for me. Nothing works for me. You know, maybe even God hasn't shown up for me. This is too hard. Life is hard. Things are happening to me. Can you see the victim mentality in that? Let me give you an example. Let's say your boss calls you in for a performance review, okay? So you're in this performance review and it doesn't go well. You can either, from this point, course correct, or you can wallow in your self-pity. You can sleep your life away, or you can completely transform your life. And I'm going to teach you exactly what to do. Today, I'm going to teach you how to overcome this self-doubt, how to move forward. And I also want you to tune in, because this webinar is not just about this. We are going to slay self-doubt today, but I also want you guys to tune into your inner guidance to move forward confidently. Let's suppose you're like a radio, which you are. You are consistently and constantly sending out signals, and you are receiving signals. Whether you realize this or not, you are an electromagnetic being. You can actually tune into any channel that you want to. Let me give you an example regarding the radio. You can listen to rock, you can listen to country on this radio, you can listen to worship, talk shows, etc., right? But if you've always been tuned in to a sad country song, for most of your life, you've been tuned into this sad country song, like into this self-doubt, okay, then that's exactly what you're going to be experiencing, because that is exactly what the signal that you're sending out. You have a signal within you that you're giving off this vibration of, I doubt myself. I don't believe in myself. I don't believe my dreams are going to manifest. I really don't believe in myself. Let's suppose the channel that you're on is this sad country song. I lost my girl, I lost my dog, and grandma started drinking, okay? It's a very sad country song. You don't believe in yourself. And suppose you want to make a life choice. You want to make a change in your life. You want to stop doubting yourself. You want to live the life of your dreams. You are going to fulfill your dreams. And you want to trust yourself. You want to believe in yourself. You want to move forward. You want to fulfill these dreams, okay? That means that you've got to change the channel. But herein lies the problem. You've been living in this frequency, in this vibration of self-doubt for so long that it actually feels comfortable to you. You feel this vibration of, I doubt myself, you hesitate, you go on YouTube, you scroll through Facebook. That's the channel you're on. And to get off of that channel, it's going to feel uncomfortable, okay? It's going to feel uncomfortable to hear a different tune. You're going to fight. You're going to crave being in the negative chemicals that are flowing in your body. You are going to make every excuse under the sun why you won't enroll into the Imagine That method. Because in the Imagine That method, my membership, dreams come true. Okay, in this, whatever I do, I help shift everybody's frequency. And you will learn how to do that for yourself so that you can live the life of your dreams. But you'll make excuses why you can't enroll. Why, right? You're going to make those excuses because it's going to feel uncomfortable. You're making a different decision. Okay, you're going to even make Coach Crystal maybe the bad one because you feel uncomfortable. Okay, and that's the resistance that's going to happen. But within the Imagine That method, I have the tools to dealing with that resistance so that you can go right through it and see, wow, that actually wasn't that bad. I can do this. Okay. So every time you want to change the channel, you're going to hear static. Okay. It's going to feel uncomfortable. So you're going to change the channel, and then you're going to want to quickly change the channel back because you're hearing static. It feels uncomfortable. You might even say, I don't think that's God's will for me. I don't think that's for me. You know, the Imagine That method, I don't know if it's for me. Of course it's for you. I designed this for you. When you are struggling with self-worth, when you're struggling with self-doubt, when you are you're stumbling over everything that you're doing, you're not going beyond the resistance, you're not going through the fear and seeing it for the illusion that it is, you're staying stuck. The Imagine That method is for you. Okay? So you're going to change it. Once you change the channel, it's going to feel, the old sad country song is very familiar to you. So it's going to feel uncomfortable to change it, okay? Because this sad country song is familiar, it feels safe, and that's exactly the way your brain and nervous system, the way it's created. It's created to keep you safe. And you guys know that saying about it's better to be in a known hell than an unknown heaven. So most people live in hell on earth. They don't go beyond the resistance. They don't go beyond the fear. They're like, I'm afraid to fly. So they stay in their homes. I'm afraid of traveling because you don't know what you're going to catch. So they stay in their safe little town. There is a world out there to be experienced, and I want you to experience it. You're going to want to make excuses, okay? And I want you to become familiar with, what do your excuses sound like? Now, as we go through this webinar, I want you to write down the excuses that you are telling yourself, because this is exactly what most people are doing. Most people have a list of 1,000,000 excuses. They're actually a pro at living hell on earth. They're a pro at listening to this sad country song. They talk about it, you know, they go fill up their car and they see someone out there. Oh, it's a crappy day out there. You know, like, oh my goodness, you know, like they have a story. And most people will, something bad happens to them, or with most people, like to stay in this sad country song frequency, you know, they're traveling through their life telling the same story. And we'll talk about stories today. But you will have a list of excuses that I want you to become very aware of in this webinar. I don't deserve to be happy, not too happy. I didn't earn it. Or maybe you're comparing yourself to somebody else. What if you're not called to be like that? Like, so let me give you an example. I don't fit in with many groups. I used to think that there's something wrong with me, that I can't conform. I went into denominations of different church groups. I went into non-denominational. I went into grace circles, grace and faith circles. I have been around so many different people and so many different groups of people. I never felt like I fit in and I don't conform. What if you're not meant to conform? What if you get to be the expression of who you are? There's even scripture that says, don't be conformed to this world, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. What if you get to be you? What if you get to be an expression of you? I have done a teaching on this and I love this teaching. Our fingerprint, there's only one There's only one of these fingerprints. I have it right here. This is so unique. You won't find this anywhere else. Right here. You see this? This is my fingerprint. You won't find this anywhere else. And right now you can do this to me and you can say, you won't find this anywhere else. That's how special you are. And that's how you ought to live your life. Like you truly are worthy. You are worthy to have an expression. You are worthy to be known. You are worthy to live a fulfilling life. And I want that for you. And I have a whole community ready to support you to do this. On a conscious level, you know that you want to be happy and that you want to live a life of freedom. But on a subconscious level, the only thing you want to do is stay in the familiar and what is safe. On the Sad Country channel, on the Sad Country song. And I know you're here today because your soul guided you here. You are not here on accident. I don't believe in accidents. You are here because you're supposed to be. You're listening to my voice right now, which is a vibration, and your awareness is opened up to it in this time and space right now. I know that there's a higher awareness available for you in this webinar and in my membership. Let me share a little bit about myself before we move on. My name is Crystal Derksen. I'm an intuitive mind renewal coach. I'm trained in several modalities. I mix them all together to help bring incredible mind-bending freedom to people. I can intuit your energy and I can see root causes of why you're struggling, why you're stuck, and I can help you transform the energy. Energy can't be destroyed. It can only be transformed. And I can help you transform that. I started on this journey because I wanted to feel better. I was searching for answers. I was genuinely searching for truth. I didn't want what someone else was telling me, not necessarily. I wanted truth. When people are speaking to me, and when you're listening to my voice, you are actually discerning vibration, feeling. You're not just hearing my words. You're feeling my words, whether you realize it or not. And this is what I help teach people to do, is I teach you how to trust your intuition, how to trust yourself. Most people, their intuition has been trained away from trusting. You don't even trust yourself. And that's partly why you're here. You don't trust yourself. You've been trained away from trusting your intuition. It is time to learn how to trust yourself. It's time to start walking in this. I love it when people start getting it, where they start like hearing something and it's like, that didn't sound like a truth, and they actually trust themselves. So that was my journey. I was on a journey. I wanted truth. I was hearing people say things, but it wasn't a truth to me. I also wanted truth to become a revelation to me. So it's something that you meditate on and allow it to become real in your mind and your heart. When something is aligned in your mind and your heart, it comes into manifestation or into the revealing nature of it. Once your heart and mind are in coherence, there's this harmony that takes place, and it can't help but manifest in your life. So I've always been a truth seeker. You'll experience that with me. You will experience that I like truth. I want to know truth, and I don't bring any tools to the table. Anything you're going to learn with me, it has to work. Otherwise it's out. So everything that I bring to the table for you will work. I want to talk a little bit about intuitive, because I am intuitive and I do see these roots in people. And like I said, we have to transform that energy. And I also like to teach people how to do that. I don't want to just do this for you. I want you to be able to learn how to do this as well. But another one of my gifts that like this happens in my life so often is that I open up subconscious folders, which is really an interesting gift. I think lots of people might do this, but I started noticing that And when I say subconscious folders, what I mean is like I help people open up their awareness, and it's like in big, it seems like it's like big ways, because I will have, I'll get messages on, I have a YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe there. But on this YouTube channel, I'll get messages. Like I listened to this tapping session that you did on there, and I feel like something was opened up. So what we do is we often suppress and hold things down. And it's like I say things to people that just blast open that box. And that is a really good thing, because then you can start moving forward. So I will say things that might trigger you, and I might say things that it might trigger you in a really good way, because it's time for you to move forward. It's just time for you to realize the truth of who you are so that you can move forward. The other thing that happens is I have people that will walk up to me and they will say, I feel like I know you. I feel like I know you so well there. And I have learned the significance of that. And I want to also teach that in my membership. There's some incredible revelation around that. And I also connect people with the truth of who they are in incredible ways. Like those are some of my gifts, and you will get to know me. You get to be yourself. I want a community where people get to completely be themselves and feel loved and connected. And you can wear tinfoil hats if you want to, and you're going to be completely loved and accepted. And my dream is for you to live your dream. I love it. I love seeing people move forward and say, Crystal, you helped me in this, and now I'm doing this. Crystal, I had this amazing experience in a meditation with you, and and then I stepped out and I did this. I have had people write books. I have had people, I actually have a student, and if you are going to join the membership, you're totally going to meet her. I know that she is going to win a Nobel Prize. Like that is how incredible. I have professors, I have doctors, I work with all kinds of people. All right, guys. So enough about me. Let's move on to the next slide. You all know what it's like to have these crippling thoughts of self-doubt. You know that it stunts your growth, that it's going to make you play small. You will shrink yourself. And I want you to type in the chat right now. Or if you're just watching the replay, I want you to write in your own notebook, what are some of the negative self-talk that happens in your mind? When you have this negative self-talk, it's an indicator. It's an indicator what you truly believe. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. What we have done is we have embodied lies, untruth, and we've embodied them. We have taken them on as if that is us. We will say things like, I am depressed. I am a loser. What? No, actually, you're not. Why are you embodying that? Why are you claiming that as yours? That is not your divine inheritance. That's not who you are. But yet, this is what people will do. They will embody it. And guess what? It is very much alive in them. And that's what we've got to do, is we've got to reprogram that. And that's exactly what I help people do on one-on-one sessions and group sessions, and also in the membership. So if you're stuck in this cycle of self-doubt, then you are holding yourself back, you're criticizing yourself, you're hard on yourself, you find yourself worried about what other people are thinking. You'll be struggling with different types of fears, paralyzing fears, different phobias. You'll struggle with that. And I'm going to help you break that today. I'm going to teach you exactly how to do this. This cycle that you see in front of you, this is the human behavioral cycle. It starts with your perception. So suppose that you were a child, you were neglected, rejected, or abused. Your perception then, you're going to have a certain perception of the world. The world is not safe, okay? And for those of you watching, maybe you didn't grow up in an abusive environment. You will still replicate the energy of your environment. That means you will replicate mom, dad, caregiver, teacher. If mom and dad doubted themselves, if they had trust issues, you will have trust issues. You will doubt yourself. If you watch mom and dad struggling to set boundaries with people, you will have a difficult time setting boundaries with people. If you doubt yourself, somewhere along the line, you learned to do that. And guess what? If you learned that, you can unlearn that. You can unlearn those self-doubt experiences by reprogramming the subconscious mind. So it starts with the perception, right? We have the perception. The world is not safe. Okay. The world is not safe. And the self-doubt is uncertainty. So the world is not safe. And we all know that self-doubt is uncertainty, right? I want you to look up the definition right now and write it down. Whatever, like you can Google it, you can search it, however you search it, go ahead and search it. Search self-doubt, and I want you to see the definition of it. Uncertainty, a lack of confidence. I want you to see what mostly resonates with you when you read the definition of self-doubt. So you have this perception, the world is not safe. You have this self-doubt, this uncertainty, the world is not safe. Out of that, you're going to have a belief. The belief is expressed in a thought. So therefore, the belief is expressed in a thought. The thought will be something like, something's wrong with me. Write down what resonates with you. Something's wrong with me. I'm not good enough. I can't. Nobody wants me. I'm not worth it. I'm so stupid. I'm bad. It's not okay to make a mistake. Those beliefs are expressed as a in a feedback mechanism called thoughts and feelings. So you have this perception, the world is not safe. It's uncertain. You have a belief that's expressed in your thoughts and your feelings. That's your feedback mechanism. So if you want to know what you believe, you want to know what your limiting beliefs are, you want to look at your feedback mechanism. The feelings, we'll go back to that yet. The feelings you'll feel is doubt, uncertainty, unloved, unwanted, rejection, abandoned, feeling alone. And all of that is going to manifest in your actions, which is your behavior, your hesitation, setting poor boundaries with people, being indecisive, having a hard time believing in yourself so you don't take action. You might actually isolate yourself. You don't take action steps that you want to take, which results in that sad country song. Do you guys see this? Do you guys see the pattern of how we work? But here's the thing. I'm going to show you exactly what to do now, because we get to break this cycle. And what if we had the cycle actually working for us instead of against us? That's exactly what we want to do. We want to interrupt this cycle. Let's first talk a little bit about a pattern, okay? Your brain has patterns. It uses patterns all the time. It uses it over and over and over. It's like having an automated program on your computer. Patterns are really good because with patterns, it creates efficiency. You don't have to think about most things. You can drive to the store and you don't have to think about every little thing. You don't have to think about driving out of the garage. You don't have to think about like turning the key, pressing the gas, pressing the brake. You don't have to think about all those little things. It's all automated by now because you've been doing it for a while. Most of our day is on autopilot. 95% of what we are doing is on autopilot. Therefore, we've got to get the patterns working for us. And we do that by interrupting the old patterns. We want good patterns that support us and nourish us. My background is farming. When you drop off cattle on a piece of land, on a piece of brand new land, they're going to begin to create these roads, these pathways. And these roads are used to walk with ease. They will know exactly where the pond is, they will know where they sleep, like they will have the whole land laid out. They know exactly where to go and what to do. Okay. They know they'll have these pathways. This is exactly what happens in our brain. We create pathways in our brain just like this. So let me show you my hand, and let's suppose this is the brain cell, the neuron, okay? These fingers are dendrites, and my arm is the axon, okay? This is like the communication trunk of the cell, okay? So when I bring these dendrites together, the space between it is called the synapse, and that is how learning occurs. The moment that you start wiring and firing together, you're creating new learning. And that's exactly what we need to do. We need to interrupt these patterns to create new learning. I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. This is called neuroplasticity. When these neurons fire together, they wire together. Therefore, through thought and feeling, we can create brand new pathways. Through thought and feeling, we create these pathways. Our thoughts are electrical and our feelings are magnetic. Like I said in the beginning, we're electromagnetic beings. Our brain wants to create this efficiency to help us. We get to choose heaven experiences. We get to choose good thoughts that support us. The first step to noticing the feedback that you're getting is to notice your reactions. You're noticing your thoughts. What am I thinking? What am I feeling? Notice your actions. What kind of behaviors do you have? What kind of actions are you taking? The moment you receive negative feedback, like hesitation with the self-doubt, you want to take a step forward to take action in your business, but you hesitate, you pull back. What is going on the inside of you in that moment? Because you've got to interrupt that pathway that I showed you. Step 2 is you need to change the meaning. All right. You need to change the meaning. You need to step outside of the story that you're telling. Whether you realize it or not, you are telling a story. I'm the biggest loser. I'm not accomplished. I can't do this. I can't do that. What if you would change? What if you would step out of that old story and change the story? That is also interrupting the pattern. Okay. I'm going to teach you. I'm going to show you right away how to do that all together. Okay. You know that you're stuck in a story because you repeat it sometimes word for word. You might even sound like a broken record. You might even have people that tell you, oh, I've heard you say that before. I've heard you say that before. It's like a broken record. Are you done telling that same old story? Eventually, you will have to decide, that's it. I'm done. I'm done with this old story. And the best way to do that is to have the support of a community. It is sometimes very difficult to do something that you've been doing for a long time all alone. You might need the support of a community, like the Imagine That method. This is the most loving, supportive community that you will ever experience. Some of these ladies that are in there have been with me for probably 3+ years. And they are the most loving. They know exactly what to do. And I will continue to build a team to continue helping you to move forward so that you can fulfill your dreams. Because sometimes it's sometimes part of this interrupting the pattern is also learning new skills. And therefore, I'm going to help you do that. I'm going to help you get the exact people that you need to help you with what you want to accomplish. Let's continue. Whether you realize it or not, you are telling a story all day long. And we tell these stories about what's happening in our lives, what's happening in other people's lives, and we call them stories. It doesn't make it mean that, I'm not saying that it's a false story that you're telling. It's just It just means that you have constructed a narrative that is based on your perception of your experience. But you keep on telling it over and over again, and it makes it more real, and it solidifies the experience in your, not just in your thoughts, in your neurology, in your nervous system. My challenge to you is to notice the stories you're telling. I want you to write that down. Notice the stories I'm telling. Become aware. And because here's the thing, we all have to interrupt these stories. Every time we tell the same story, every time we tell it with the same emotions, we're going to reinforce the pattern. We have to get out of that story, interrupt that pattern. And that is how we're going to rewire our brain. And it doesn't have to be hard and difficult. I have made a method that makes this super fun, and we get to tell amazing stories of the truth of who we are, because we have been created in God's image. We're not separate. God is not elusive, like somewhere that's so far away in a pie in the sky. We're one with God. You can't be separated from God. That's how amazing you are. We have created these stories. We have agreed with these old stories. We've agreed with that sad country song. Therefore, we can recreate these stories. Let go of the self-doubt story. Let's just drop it. Let's drop the self-doubt story that we are very comfortable with. And let's tell a new story. In my membership, what we do is we will look at exactly the stories we're telling and create a brand new story. We're going to do that with the Imagine That method, where you will interrupt these stories and you will build such incredible relationships with people. All right, so I want to demonstrate this to you now, how to interrupt these patterns, okay? So let's suppose I'm experiencing self-doubt. I'm doubting myself and I want to move forward, okay? So let's suppose that you're going to see me, I'm going to have my shoulders slouched in and I'm going to have my head down and I'm going to be telling a story. You know what? I just can't do it. I can't make it. It's very hard. And I could just feel myself going down. But watch this. The moment I put my shoulders back, I put a smile on my face, and I can even be waving at you. Now, let me try to say, hey, I'm so sad. My life doesn't work. You guys, try this. Try this. Like, tell a sad story. It doesn't work. You guys, it doesn't work. My life is so sad. My life is so hard. You guys, I can't even make myself feel that way because my physiology is completely shifted. I have a smile on my face. I'm waving. I love waving at people. You love to be waved at, don't you? Well, that's in the Imagine That method, and you'll be practicing that in the membership. I'll explain to you exactly how to do that in the membership. So here's the thing. It can be fun. Interrupting these pathways can be fun. It can be fun to tell a brand new story. It doesn't have to be hard. There's some tips that I want to share with you before we move forward. I want to give you some practical tips when you're dealing with slaying self-doubt. Tip number 1, there's going to be 3 that I want to share with you. So 3 of the most common self-doubt traps. Notice them, write them down. We want to start noticing our thoughts, feelings, and actions, because remember, that is going to be our feedback mechanism. The moment you notice those, you get to interrupt it. Hey, like shoulders back, happy, right? Hesitating is triggered by uncertainty. If you find yourself waiting, overthinking, or trying to keep yourself busy to dealing with a situation, maybe like taking that step forward, maybe it's calling a client, maybe it's doing something like taking an action step, This may be your default for this self-doubt behavior. You might have all three, okay? But this is what you need to ask yourself in that moment. What is the story I'm telling? If hesitating is triggered by uncertainty for you, then what is the story you're telling? And what activities am I doing to keep myself from taking action? Write that down. Tip number 2, hiding is triggered by fear of others and overwhelm. If you find yourself avoiding, procrastinating, shrinking, playing small, maybe you're staying behind the scenes. Oh, I love to help people. I'm just going to be in the back. You're staying behind the scenes. You tend to be on the quieter side because maybe you're afraid of people judging you, or maybe you're afraid of disappointing other people. This could be your default, your self-doubt behavior, okay? Ask yourself, when are you most prone or more prone to hide and hesitate? When you find yourself hiding and procrastinating, what's the fear that it's causing? Like, what's the fear? Why does the thing you're afraid of matter? Does it actually matter? I want you to ask yourself those questions. Have this ready for yourselves. Like, be ready to interrupt patterns. Have your notes beside you that you know exactly what to do. Join the Imagine That method, you guys. This is a place of freedom and living the life of your dreams. Tip number 3, hypercritical is triggered by fear of being hurt, disappointed, or failing. If you're likely to argue against yourself, being self-critical, complaining, focusing on flaws, like this is the perfectionist, right? If you have any of those patterns, you're probably thinking about everything that can go wrong or everything that's not perfectly right. That would be your default self-doubt behavior mechanism. So I just want you to notice that. Ask yourself, what are the reasons and excuses that you're using to hold yourself back? And are you afraid? And what are you afraid is going to happen? What are you afraid of? Once you discover these things, you can start interrupting them. You can be consciously aware of these subconscious, unconscious programs, right? Because so far, some of these programs you're running is so unconscious that you're not even aware. But now that your awareness has opened up, this is going to help you tremendously. By now, it's fairly clear where you're stuck. You're going to have like incredible awareness about where you're stuck. You'll know exactly what you do. In order to get new results, you've got to change what you're doing. You won't get new results with the same actions. The problem that we have is that when we have these thoughts and these feelings that come to the surface, there is such a strong emotional state attached to it. Like when you hesitate, there's such a strong emotional state that it's probably dominating you. You could feel it in your body. Like it is the vibration you're sending out. And then you're triggered by other people and you're angry with your kids or you're angry with your spouse and you know that they didn't do anything wrong. You're just triggered at yourself and your inaction, right? So these emotional states, what they're doing is they're keeping us stuck, right? And this strong emotional state is like dominating you. You've got to interrupt this. You've got to do something in that moment. And that feeling, once you get to the belief, which I also teach in the Imagine That, you will get to the belief very quickly and get rid of it very quickly. It doesn't have to take long, and it doesn't have to be such a long process, and it doesn't have to be like difficult. Okay. So when these self-doubt patterns appear, face the self-doubt, right? We got to face it. You're aware of it. Like the first step to all transformation is awareness. You've become aware. On this webinar, you've taken the first step to slaying self-doubt, and that is becoming fully aware. The second thing you need to do, nobody can do this for you. I mean, you can hire me, we can have a one-on-one together and I can walk you through this. You can do this in the Imagine That with your group partners, but you've got to interrupt the pathways, and you can do that anytime that you're at home, anytime, wherever you are, you can interrupt these pathways. You have to change your state. You have to change the story you're telling. You're responsible for that. I can't make you choose to tell a new story. I can't make you tune in to a happy song when you're on a sad song. I can't make you. You get to choose heaven instead of hell. So if you want to take a new action, then you've got to interrupt these neural pathways, change your physiology, right? And change the story that you're telling. You will then experience a brand new result, and you will ultimately change your life. You will begin to take those steps forward in doing what you've always been called to do. You have a dream, you have a mission here. It is time for you to accomplish your mission. Whatever your dream is, whatever it is you want to do, I want you to accomplish your dreams. I have a gift for you. I want to give you 14 days completely free in the Imagine That method. You try it out for 14 days. I want you to have it for 14 days where you just try it out. If you don't like it, I mean, you get to choose. You get to choose if you want to stay. You get to choose if you want to, if it's not for you, you get to choose. But here's 14 days completely free. And this is your opportunity to take action. This is your opportunity to step in to actually doing this. You came to planet Earth. I think it's time for you to do this. Let's do this. Let's accomplish your dreams. I want to invite you to join the Imagine That method. You will experience upgrades. You're going to experience manifestations. If I'm going to sum this up for you, it is like a roadmap to living the life of your dreams. It's a roadmap to helping you accomplish what it is you want to accomplish. I've developed a method which you will learn and you will practice, and it's fun. It doesn't have to be hard, but the goal is for you to experience the life of your dreams, for you to see the truth of who you are, that you are amazing. There is nobody like you. That's how amazing you are. And I want to help you shift into knowing your self-worth, knowing who you are. And not just that, this is a community of people who love each other, who are there for one another. And we are going to get in so many people that have different skills. I want, even like in this group, I want you, if you have something that you absolutely love to teach that you're really good at, what if you can get paid in this group teaching my students some of the skills? Like, this is endless. This is a membership where we get to create this incredible community of people that have all these amazing skills. All right. The other thing is that in order to get to a certain place, I've got to get you to shift your perception and your vibration. I've got to help you shift into a vibration of love and above. I will show you, I have a scale of consciousness that I will teach. You'll get that in the membership. I teach in the membership. I have sessions in the membership. I have recordings in the membership. As we go along, you will get recordings of meditations. You will get recordings of tapping sessions. Not just that, I show up live as a coach twice a month. Another thing you will experience is upgrades. You're going to experience this all the time, whether you realize it or not. I really do want you to consciously realize it. Many people are going along in life and they're not even seeing different changes in themselves. I want you to be consciously aware of your shifts, of your changes, of your upgrades. If you want to be a 7-figure coach, You cannot be in four-figure energy. If you want physical healing, you can't stay in sick thinking. This membership is going to support you in that. It's going to help you. It's going to help support you in your thinking, in your vibration, in your energy, and you're going to experience resistance. That's another thing that comes up. You guys, there's even resistance to being healthy. It sounds so strange, but if you've been struggling with pain in your body, it feels so familiar to you for so long, you'll have resistance to actually moving into health or wealth or whatever it is that you want to experience. And I help you through that. This group in these sessions, they're going to help you right through the resistance, and you'll learn so many different tools. I use so many different tools that work. It's incredible. So this membership has a library of tools to use. Another thing that you will get is accountability. We all need accountability. And that is the reason that many people fail, because they don't have the accountability. This group is going to be full of accountability. It's going to be, you will have home play. So if I'm going to describe to you week one is we meet on Zoom. We're going to have a theme for the month, and we're going to have a clearing session. Usually the Zoom is 1 hour. It will go sometimes to an hour and a half. I am flexible with that. Week 2 is home play in the Facebook group, okay? We will have clarity. Like in week 2, you will get clarity. I want you to set a powerful intention. Week 2, you will have the home play. So you'll do this at home. You're going to decide, you're going to answer questions, you're going to get very clear. If you want to be a billionaire girl, you've got to act as if you're that billionaire girl right now. That means you are getting into the energy of billionaire girl, and you have a whole community supporting you in that. I even want you to show up to the Zoom or doing a Facebook Live and telling us who you are. What about that? What if you showed up all the time telling us the truth of who you are? I'm healed, right? If you are struggling with sickness in your body, what if you came in and said, I'm healed, like, or you, and I want you to say it in words that absolutely resonate with you. Like it goes right into you, and you even tear up hearing those words. That's exactly what we'll be doing together. We're going to get clarity. Week 3 is going to be another class on Zoom. This is where I will give you practice instructions, and we are going to begin to clear away resistance. You're going to have beautiful experiences. You're going to shift your perception. You're going to experience new upgrades. You're going to embody a brand new perception in week 3. So so week 1 and week 2 have prepared you for week 3 to get ready for to clear away the resistance that is stopping you. And then week 4, fourth week, is gratitude week. We have home play in the Facebook group. That is where you will practice the vibration of gratitude. You will practice the vibration of it's already done. This is who I am. And you share your big wins, your small wins. Remember, when you have an attitude of gratitude, amazing things shift and amazing things happen in your life. And you actually change your vibration. You change what you believe about yourself. You change your life. If you want to keep moving forward, if you want upgrades, if you want accountability, if you want to live the life of your dreams, join the Imagine That method. It is 14 days, completely free, okay? Completely free. And guess what? You can cancel any time that you want. You are not obligated to stay. I do not want you to stay if you don't want to stay, but I want you. I want you to enjoy this membership. I want you to develop skills to accomplishing your dreams. I want you to try this out. I want you to experience the life of your dreams. And last but not least, I want you to practice what you were taught in this webinar. Practice interrupting the patterns, practice everything that you were taught, review your notes again, notice your patterns, notice what's going on, and I will see you in the Imagine That membership. It was so good spending time in your home, wherever you are. Maybe you're out on a walk or in your car. It was great to spend time with you. Bye-bye. Have a great week.